of shit to talk about today. Charge up my tablet. Yeah, I just gotta keep my tablet charged. Use it so damn much. Charge up for it. Talking about dumbass lefties. I don't know how people even like remotely. I don't even know anymore. People are just fucking stupid. Like the more and more I start getting into like researching the demonic world or the spirit world, basically the demonic side of it, and that the more I start learning about why people do stupid things, it's like, why are people brainwashed? And then I look at myself. I look at myself being used to being brainwashed, and you know, I'm just thinking to myself like, man, it's like I used to be just like that. I used to be, you know, really brainwashed by society now. Like, I believe everything. I believe people 100%. And the thing is, I never sat there and actually thought to myself, like, why are people being like this? You know, it's like I trust, you know, like my dad and that. You know, my dad was really into being, you know, he watched a lot of liberal news, which he still does. And like, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, and I'm like, dude, I'm like, I can't even watch that shit anymore. Like, I can't even stand it. Like, it just drives me crazy.
Compared to me, you are nothing.
And the more I start thinking about that, I start thinking about like, damn.
I am getting sick of your voice.
And like, it's like getting kind of like annoying that. Cause I remember back in 2019, I started critical. I always wanted to be critical thinking because I was always a dork. I always thought about stuff in various of ways. Try not to like go there and be like, oh, okay, well, this. I literally, legitimately would be like, okay, well, let's think this straight. Let's think this through. I started believing, you know, certain things. I'm like, man, like, a lot of people were talking about the China virus and that, where it came from and that, and then they had research of it, and then they actually have evidence that it came from China, the coronavirus. And then social media started saying, oh, it didn't come from that. It was, it's a conspiracy theory. Like, why do you got all these doctors getting banned from COVID? They're actually telling people, zinc, you know, having zinc, third Smeister, whatever, it's a zinc, basically
It is
zinc.
luck, Rush. Sorry to say.
Ah, crap. Schematics
And
show
like,
duct.
Zinthmeister is what it's called, zinc Zinthmeister. And you start saying, oh, you could take, you know, a lot of vitamin C in that, and you can take all these ginger, take, you know, all these, you know, things that help you out. I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. I know. And then I find out, I'm like, oh, shit. Why are you banning these doctors that have been professions for the last 10 years and that have their own practice and that because you're getting tired of the bullshit? Like, okay, I believe that, you know, there's a lot of money propaganda bullshit going on.
Looks like you can reach the server room by cutting through cooling.
Well, that sucks. I go back around again? Oh, man. And then I start realizing certain things. I'm like, so if you got these doctors and that are actually like private physicians that research their own stuff and that, is that kind of like what we should be doing anyway? Like, should we be researching stuff based upon the actual knowledge we actually have? Why should the institutions be giving us all this stuff and that and trying to say, well, this is what it is, and they just hide half the shit from us, which is what they do. And I started pondering about it even more, and I'm like, man, people are hiding a lot of shit. And I start looking at the research of steroids and peptides and stuff like that. And I start realizing like they're hiding so much crap from us. I said, well, steroids are bad for you, but they give out steroids all the time for certain people that have certain issues, like, you know, after big surgeries, and that they give you steroids that's so you can heal faster.
Fan's still running. Gotta find a way past it to get the cooling.
And like, you start to learn all the stuff in that. Same thing with like eczema and that. They start going through all this stuff with eczema and shit. Like, oh, well, eczema can only be cured by these certain things that blocks a certain thing in your body that so you don't inflammate. I'm like, well, you have to inflammate. All causes you to get sick and shit, you know. I'm like, okay, well, that's fucking pointless. But then they don't tell you about peptides. Oh, well, there's 3 different kinds of peptides you can take that actually heal you. Okay. And guess what? Taking the Wolverine peptides. It's I think it's a 5 peptide thing, and that I get it in the oil. I normally take it, you know, it says I got a 30-day supply of it, but I end up taking a little bit more of it now because I'm getting used to it. So I upped the prescription of it a little bit. Not prescription, I update the how much you take now. Is it expensive? Yeah, because it's new. It's expensive. It's like $200 and something or whatever for like, you know, supposedly 30-day supply. But more or less like I'll probably be taking in like 15 to 20 days. So I end up getting it, you know, I do it once a month. I just take more of it throughout just because it makes it easier just to do all that because I want to see how it works when I take more of it. So I do basically double the stuff. So I do 30 drops. I do about 60 drops. You know, and if I start seeing recovery faster than that, then more or less likely I know that's going to work, which it has been working. My eczema is actually going away. Oh, wow. So prescription drugs without insurance that I can get that evidently can get rid of it, but there's issues with it. Or I could sit there and take. I'm supposed to open killer orders. I guess there's more people to kill over here. Or I could take a peptide that is not a prescription. So it's buy whenever you want to buy. That's what I love about our free marketing society. And guess what? It does the same thing. And it does more. It heals my eczema. And it causes me to regenerate faster to begin with.
Just rub some dirt on it.
Wait, I got an idea. What's Mercenary Day without a little snow? You'll need to get into the control room.
It does shit. Okay. And now I'm starting to see the results. And I've never been more happy in my whole entire life. I don't need to go through a fucking doctor. I can go through physicianal practice company and get stuff that actually fucking works without sitting there and going through the whole bullshit. And I'm so happy for it. Ooh, got the 1200. I'll take that. I love that joke. But that's what it is. It's starting to work because I see it on my arm. Like I had a big ass patch on my fucking right tricep, and like it's pretty much almost gone. Like there's little patches here and there, but it used to be a gigantic fucking patch. To where it was like noticeable. It was like 3 inches by 2 inches. Like it was a rather big patch. And a lot of it has to do because I put olive oil on my skin and that too, because olive oil actually helps with inflammation a lot. But this shit's fucking working though. So to me, it's like, why do we have to do all this shit when you have natural stuff out there that actually fucking works? That got implicated for us to actually have. Then I stopped trusting in the doctors that really. I started trusting the actual
Wonder
people
what
that
that chap
actually
has on
believe
his
in God. And guess what? Their shit works better. It's blessed.
Using my computer? Do not look in the folder marked taxes!
So many files on Rush's family, particularly his father. Rush would value this.
Friends and guns.
I always make time for the little things. Do not fear death! You are barely alive as is!
Yeah! Kill some more of them! That'll help!
The next mag is just for you!
No 3 headshots! Move toward the head!
It might take a little bit, but I think probably by the end of this year I should be fully fucking healed. And my joints will finally be released from all that inflammation shit that's been passed down to all that red dye 40 bullshit. I've been extremely careful not eating shit like that.
Blame Vladov, not me!
Nice. Yeah, ice 2 gets his gun damage. Ooh, that actually might help us out. This is underbarrel damage. Let's see what this does. You gotta look at the gun. This gun's actually really fucking good. This gun right here. Automatically fires from the underbarrel. So I just got 50% more damage on it. This, maybe. Yeah, it does 2,000.
Every few months, some bolter tries to revive gift exchange holidays. And Daddy says I get to keep all the presents. It's true, the meaning of Mercenary Day is family, so long as that family gives you very many gifts.
I got more than one scar from people like this screw. Thinks the world owes him something. My dad used to say, oh hell, of all days I've tried not to think about losing him, but sorry. Go do what you do best.
Yeah, caffeine's kicking in really nicely. Yeah, these things have a chance of being legendary, so like look at them. But yeah, stuff's actually starting to go away. I'm really happy for it. It's a slow approach because my whole body has to go through it. So, but it's working though.
So that is what bad luck looks like.
That's all the propaganda tower's taken care of. Thanks for clearing the airwaves, Outbounder.
Would you like to know what Daddy's greatest gift to me was? A data scraper! Only I can pierce the cosmos and access the galactic EchoNet! And I've seen your personnel file, oh yes. A gambling robot turned vault hunter. How amusing! Well, guess what?
Today, my luck runs out, eh? Many people have said this shortly before eating a bullet.
Oh man, what's up? Oh. Is it a huge amount of carbs and shit? I did my little leg exercises too. Actually worked out pretty good. Tried to do too much weight because
You can never control chaos! Should have run the numbers! Revolution Day!
ooh man, me and Nancy. Yeah, that other barrel damage is fucking sick as fuck. I gotta get another one of these guns. Let's see what level this gun's on. I think it's 30. Okay, never mind. Nah, I can wait till like 35 or something like that. Yeah, this guy's pretty cool though. He's kind of a dick.
I see you, Vault Hunter. But Daddy, can you see me? Can you see what a good boy I am? Today, I give you the greatest gift of all! A dead Vault Hunter!
God, dude.
I always make time for the little things.
Wow.
You are nothing more than puppets.
Why are you like this?
Dead? Because of the massive AoEs they drop on me. The only thing I dislike about some of these games, you try to get really fucking strong. Like, my character's rather strong, offensive,
Hope no
but
one saw
defensive,
that.
my
I have
god,
a
he's fucking
reputation to
terrible.
maintain. Another fight goes my way.
Fuck away from me.
Anything I set my mind to!
I really enjoy busting you up.
Oh, shit, fuck out of there. What the fuck? Ah! What they hate about his running speed is so fucking slow. I despise the running speed in this game. Go. Fuck off. What are you doing, dude? Fuck off there. Okay. Where is he? Oh my god, dude, he's annoying as fuck.
Every time, I am betting on myself.
Oh, I don't go for the jump. Ooh, what the fuck is that, Jacobs? A lot of damage. Does 400 damage, cryo, ricochets 2 times, switch over to sniper. So ricochet, it just ricochets a lot. Damage is pretty high though. So switch over to sniper just makes you do more damage probably. Thought I could do more damage than this, but this gun's actually really fucking good.
Probably should not touch a mysterious switch, but I am feeling lucky.
Hey, good job saving Mercenary Day. Sorry I'm not more cheerful company. That guy got under my skin.
Well, the gifts we gave out killed people. We used up the decorations, and the one thing I wanted to forget about today was shoved in my face.
First, your skin looks terrific. Second, I found you something. If this photo is what I think, you definitely grew up.
Dad? Oh, wow. It's been so long. I'd almost forgotten his face. I don't know what to say. I can't begin to repay you for this.
It is your lucky day. I am feeling generous.
I've spent so much time today trying to not think about losing him, but I think ignoring it only makes it worse. Plus, I still got people like you around. Different kind of family, but it still counts. Thanks, Vault Hunter. And happy Mercenary Day.
Merkday tree, oh Merkday tree, things made of steel are metal.
That boy makes me laugh. Oh, that was good. Good little DLC. Yeah. Where is that at? I think it's over here. Is that the guy? I believe that would have to be him. No, there's a guy over there. That's how I get that one gun I have. It's really good. I guess we can go to Moxie's and go from there. Oh, man. I was like checking these in my head, legendaries.
How do I take your order? Trick question. I don't take orders.
Gotta go to work today. Later on today. Some guys to kill.
Farewell!
Oh yeah! Not the face! Sashaying forward! Oh,
what real freedom looks like. So that is what bad luck looks like.
I need to put some holes in someone right away.
Give me everything you have.
Actual disasters to fix. Worse than this.
Limbs off, yeah! Then we'll both wish I'd never been born!
Nice.
Luck is on my side.
You know what's so funny is like Borderlands used to be super fucking big when 2 was out. And I think 3 itself kind of draw to that to be shitty. I always talk about like the history of the type of these games because I played them all. This one's probably the best one.
Remember, running is an option.
Like the story, ain't so about the action itself. Obviously, when you're playing like Borderlands 1, you have Dr. Zed, and that Dr. Zed was cool as fuck. Like the first character you meet, Dr. Zed. So like, of course, you're gonna be like, oh, Dr. Zed's fucked up. You also have to think about like, when these games came out, these games came out like 2000, like what, 8, 2000, yeah, I think it was like 2008, 2006. So remember when first Borderlands came out on PlayStation or Xbox 360, and you know, I just like, me and my one friend used to play it all the time. We double team in that, and then I started playing it by myself because I got an Xbox 360 that.
Don't push me! Ha! Ready to roll this time!
And like, I was always obsessed with RPGs. I always like number games and that.
Very good!
But it was a shooter leveling game. Like, oh shit. And then Destiny came out a little bit after that. Destiny was fucking astounding. I'm like, damn, Destiny's really good. Because it was open multiplayer and that. Not open multiplayer, but you could join, you gotta do strikes that with people and that. It auto join you out. And honestly, I always like playing by myself. I always like being a solo character. I don't know what it is. I've always been a big fan of soloing that. I don't mind being in groups of people and that, but soloing always seems to be more practical. When I was playing EverQuest 2, we're playing this one zone. It's just like a big ass heroic zone. There was just so many like heroics. You level up super fast in it. And so I used to run people through it with my, Shadow Knight and that to level them up or whatever it is. And it's a godsend, you did a really good job going through there. You can get a bunch of shit in that. And then I start realizing, like, there was just one guy there. He didn't have the DLC to get, like, the super heroic gear now. He just kept on, like, finding ways to making his gear better for what it is. He did a lot of crafting and that, and I was talking to him about it and that. It's like, how are you so strong? He's playing as a berserker. Berserkers do have healing abilities and that, but... And I'm just sitting there, like, thinking about it, and they're like, dude, like, you're, like, super strong in that. I looked at his gear, and that dude's got maxed out all this shit, and that. He's got, like, really good legendary, like, mods and shit on his character and that. It's how do you find all this stuff and that? He's like, oh, I just look it up and that, and I find out where to grind it, and then I get it, He's like a master crafter and that. Crafted really good legendary gear and shit. I was just astounded. I'm like, he started explaining it to me. Like, yeah, you can find this stuff doing like certain heroic zones and that they drop these legendary crafting things. You can craft them. And it's like, that's pretty fucking cool. Because normally you can't craft legendary gear in the old game, The older DLCs, you do Mastercraft, you can go from there, which to find all your legendary gear and shit like that. And they changed over that you can get Fable gear now. They kept the pushing along, and they got to the point where it just got kind of boring. And now that they've ruined EverQuest 2.
You're ready for a beating.
With all this bullshit, the pay-to-win bullshit. And it got stupid as fuck.
Have you tried putting your boats back in? That was just a warm-up.
But yeah, it just got kind of stupid though. When you're playing a game and that, you want to play a game, you want it to be somewhat difficult. You want to be able to grind and level up your characters and shit. And then they just kind of threw it off. I'm like, yeah, that got kind of stupid. I played that game for like a decade and it just got stupid. Like the first like 70 levels, 80 levels were great. Now I'm in the first like 30 or 40 levels are really good. And then it got to the point where it just got kind of tedious. That took forever to level up, and like killing enemies that level you up or shit. You had to do the double XP weekend shit. Then you level up and that. And just... I don't know, this got super fucking tedious. Can I get this fucker? Oh, I can't get this.
Pusher, pull it.
I have no respect left for my time as the timekeeper, any more than the former captain yearns for their time.
We must all be erased.
Up for a game of triple roulette?
Right
They look scary. Protect me, hey?
I try to be more than the boss in the bank. Now, will you take up this challenge, or will you wait?
Scorch this earth with your corpse!
Yet that is all I was. An ape. A puppet. As are you, as long as his bolt stays lodged in you. Rip it and join your queen in the stuff.
How the order listen to
Guess I could still get all those things done. Cool.
that slop is beyond me. This is much better.
This slop. It's like listening to CNN news. Dude, they're such. They're not saying that Donald Trump wants to blow up Iraq and glass it using nuclear weapons and shit. And that's not what he said. He said if you guys don't start, being part of the world's, like the way the world is and that, you're gonna sit there and get screwed over and that. People are tired of your terrorism. Dude, get so funny, dude. These guys are terrorists for a reason. They love being terrorists.
Left yourself wide open.
But yeah, it's like listening to this crap and that, like, dude, these people are just fucking like mentally fucking retarded.
Up for a game of triple roulette?
You know what's so funny is like these people that believe in these type of things and that, like they believe in this shit because it makes it easier for them to cope with reality. That's why I like a lot of like Republican-based people and that cope with reality really well, man. It's because they look at reality through what God wants us to look at through. You get people out there just fucking like full-on retarded. Not even retarded in the sense that they can't understand. They can, they choose not to understand. And it gets to the point where you just gotta be like, you gotta cope with fucking morons that like instantly like if I go to work and then there's a couple people I work with that I say, oh, America's like the best country to ever live in, and they sit there and they're all like, don't get me started on that stuff and get all pissed off and shit. Like, why are you getting so mad? You live in this fucking country, you moron. It's like you live in the country and you're spoiled by the country now. You blow all your money about stupid shit now. And then you can look exactly like kind of who they are now.
Well, if that don't beat all, that's a spotlight.
You look at their lives and that, and like they dread and hatred, and they always want to make up excuses for the hatred that they have on everybody else. I always tell people like, dude, your hatred depends on you. It's always about what you want to do with your life. No one controls it. You implicate control. You give them control. Like, I used to be controlled by certain things and that about life and that. I don't give a fuck about that shit anymore. I don't care. Like, I'm not a big money person. I like having my job. I like having money now, of course, but I'm not a status holder on it. I really don't care about it. It doesn't really bother me. And people don't think that you're successful because you don't have this and have that. I said, well, succession comes with a lot of different things. It just come with what necessarily that you have, especially materialistic shit and that. It really does, and I think materialism is a form of hiding your own self-doubt and shit. Because you have, you know, a lot of self-doubt. And you live your life based upon these certain things, and it destroys your life.
If you trust her, so help me.
And when people have their self-doubt about the world, man, they look at the world from like a very small perspective.
Your misery ends soon.
And then you understand why there's so much issues now. The way I look at the world, it's lovely. There's not a lot of hatred. People create a lot of hatred to a certain extent, but normally it's minor shit.
This has to be my favorite part.
Do you know why people get financially broke all the time? Because they believe in what stupid people tell them to believe in, and they end up going broke as fuck. Yeah, they end up sitting there believing like, oh, this and that, oh, there's a special way of gaining this much money and that much money, and they talk about all these financial things and that, and then they end up going broke as fuck, and they end up fucking complaining about how broke they fucking are. And that's literally what happens.
Thrilling!
Violent skies, take her!
I don't think I can go. Yeah, I can go over there. That's cool. That's a safe house right here? Fuck, I didn't know that. What's that?
Tapping out already?
Good job. That's gotta be a pretty cool safe house. Got the little island safe house. That's kind of cool. That's all the way up there too.
That was just a warm-up.
This gun's actually doing pretty fucking good. Close first, aren't you? Experience. Okay. I have to go all the way up there. Oh, it's right here. Ooh. A little broken down fortress. Something you can clean up a little bit.
Superb spot for a resistance hub. Bang up job, Vault Hunter.
Let's fix it up a little bit. Got a nice little bed in there right here. Look at that shit. Okay. Little closets and shit. Nice.
I've got a big ol' hunger itch for more than just ripping good music.
Has a little kitchen in here. Cool. This guy's a little upstairs. Not even upstairs. Just... Yeah, it used to be like a little town over here. I kind of wish there was an experience hub with every safe house where they kill enemies around the safe house. They build up experience. So whenever you sit there and they like remodify it, like they actually like rebuild certain parts of it as you go through. So you can sit there and get more shit. That'd be fucking awesome if they did that shit.
Nailed the ricochet.
That you can make your own like clan and that, and you can have like certain things going with AI and that. To where the AI can go out there and like hunt down bounties for you and shit. They can do so much with this game. It's already open fucking world. They have like the AI go around and gather shit for you and that. That'd be fucking astounding.
That must have stuck.
You can like cook food and shit. Like you can be really creative with these games. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, they probably can't do the armor piece stuff and that. Like have like a whole bunch of different armor pieces and that. That'd be kind of cool that you can actually craft like your own shit and that. Crafting and stuff's always been one of the things that's been really fun.
Nothing beats the classics.
Moving in.
Honestly, making this game completely open world would be kind of crazy. Considering the, I mean, obviously you have to have PvP in that, but you know.
Your misery ends soon. This hurt too much. Why, friend?
But yeah, definitely like be able to have like AI like a mark with you or something like that that can help you kill things. That would be awesome. You could hire like another vault hunter to run with you and that you could personally set up a certain way. There's so much crap they could do. Like if they put down like slowly your safe houses get stronger and that they get more equipment, they can gather experience for you. Because it's basically unlimited experience, so you can get up unlimitedly after you get the max level and 50 and that, you know, you can basically just keep on leveling up. But that's what they do for you, like, they just, you know, they'll do patrols, certain areas, you can see them on the map and that. Like, look at map, you see, like, a patrol, it'd be like a whole bunch of, like, golden dots that do patrols and that, and you can see that when they're in battle and shit.
Go to the mushrooms.
That'd be awesome as fuck.
Well, nobody ices the spice.
That they'll have clan wars, other clans and shit.
Not fast enough.
There would be like ridiculous amount of fucking beef on that.
May I? Oh, you were better alive.
So clan war would be like, no, like 50 against 50 or something like that. And of course, you guys would eventually just get super fucking strong. But...
First gamble was your fault. Your second was me.
And that's what it is about these games. You could be so, you could have so much innovative stuff that works so fucking good. Or have like a pet with you or something like that that actually like, you know, I guess it can't take too much innovation over other things that, but you know. You can make a game really good if you just stop fucking making brand new ones and just put up with the old one and just make it as big as possible. Like Borderlands 2 was huge. I have to say, is this game better than Borderlands 2? Story-wise, no, but gameplay-wise, yes. The gameplay is amazingness. Having, you know, basically unlimited grenades, cooldown grenades and shit. You can get massive cooldown. Your grenades can pop up every, like, 30 seconds. So there's toss grenades. Instead of shooting guns. They can do so much stuff with these games and that, but the problem is they just sit there and they keep playing this. Gotta create new games so we could be fashionable
Surely
with
no
all
one
these,
will miss this.
you know, bunch of guns I don't need. That's not too bad. But yeah, there's just so much crap they could do with this game, though. I mean, the gameplay is really good. You get a dash, you get all this, like, crazy shit you can do. And it just makes it more fun. I've always been big into Borderlands, though. I always enjoyed the story and that, the characters and shit. Look how big this is, dude. This is crazy. And of course, I do like the Borderlands 1. Like, hands down, is nostalgic as fuck. Every once in a while I'll play through, but playing through that and then playing this, it's gonna be like, this is just better. You got, slide, you got dodge, you got the gliding. That shit just overall makes things better. Because I always gotta think back. I always think about the games I played when I was younger and that. I played a lot of strategy RPGs and that, of course, I'm big into that stuff. But one of the games I played that I played a lot of was, multiplayer stupid games. Like I played freaking Red Fraction. Red Fraction was one of the games I played a shit of. It was a futuristic like gun game. You play against AI and shit. And you get to play, multiplayer. That, of course, GoldenEye was good. Love GoldenEye. It was amazing. Duke Nukem was fucking up fine, like really fucking nice.
Careful! I fight dirty when bored.
Of course, you had Zelda, Ocarina of Time, and stuff like that. That are always good games, no matter what. Oh, the motherfuckers hit hard, jeez. That is really good. I always get that gun good. I don't use that gun at all anyway. We can always buy another one. Yeah, I like to keep the stickies because they're good for bosses because they do enormous amount of damage. Collect this gun. But yeah, it's just one of the things. You just like think in the past and that, how games used to be in that. The stories were always basically the same.
That is the way the dice roll.
You always put the hero, you get a super strong main hero and that.
Battery reset coming up.
Every 6 seconds. What does that do? Power circuit instantly starts. Recharge energy shield. Ooh. Doesn't heal a lot, but that does charge up a lot. Charge up in 6 seconds, I like that. Oh, that's where I was just at.
I got a need to make something sweet. Oh, frickin' hi! Ain't I sorry, Dad? I mean, I'm not going down like that.
Don't hit the player. Ha ha.
I have to give me something more to eat. Yeah, I've watched a shit ton of Shio Hero. Been loving that anime. It's actually pretty good. The first season's obviously the best season, but definitely you going all over the place with the character in that. But what can you say? That's what happens. Oh man. Give me some more food. I gotta take a big ass piss. Anyway, I'll be right back. Man, it got a little fucking chilly. Ooh. I think it's a little chilly. I think it's some food. Maybe a big old meat sandwich. Okay. These things are glitched out. Yeah. Oh.
Made a split decision. You are not the only one who lives.
Oh.
If I kill one more bolter, I get a microwave.
Your misery ensues.
I'm reallocating the work. The size of the gun don't matter.
Oh, they're glitched out. The size of gun doesn't matter. It's all about how they take it. Only Pacific women like crackheaded shit. Super so stupid.
Imagine waking up, looking out your window, and you're like, that's an awfully orange sunrise. Oh, no, that's the raptor. Or apocalypse. Or Armageddon. Or whatever the hell the Egyptian equivalent is. No. That's California.
Imagine waking up this behind your neighborhood all because some Islamic arsonist didn't like how much his job was paying them. Oh, these people are crazy as fuck. I like listening to Crowder. This dude's actually really good.
Obviously, you're mocking the religion of Iran. No decent person mocks other people's religions. It's a mockery, not just of Islam. It's a mockery of Christianity.
Just to be fucking clear, the religion that says Jesus was not divine, the Jews and Christians are liars. And by the way, this new guy with the book who thought he was wrestling with a demon, but was convinced he was an angel, has a whole new list of rules that violate the old ones, and you should follow them. By the way, if you don't, we're gonna kill you. You know, I hear people say, oh, right, isn't it right? And then I hear them blah, blah.
Yeah, I do have a problem with people like saying like, oh, if you're mocking, like, there's only one, there's only one way of thinking. What God told us to think, how God created the world, how God created us, how Jesus implicated the laws after he implicated the laws with the Ten Commandments. But he implicated the laws in various like details, telling us this is how you should be like. These are the reasons why life could be so happy. If you stop doing these things, if you stop masturbating, you stop looking up porn, you get married. And not necessarily you don't even need to have kids, but you can get married. You can be functional as a person in society. If you don't get married, you can be functional in person society. You have to go through all these things. We can all make mistakes, and that's the point. Like, we all make mistakes. That's the point. Like, God already knows that we're gonna make mistakes. God already knows how dumb we are, that we're stupid, we're ignorant. That's why we don't know. Like, people that actually know God, they actually know exactly how to be, and they're so used to doing it that becomes life. They stay away from these people. They stop, dealing with these people. And it's like saying like it's me that when I go to work and I mimic other people's personalities because their personalities are not like mine. But if someone is close to my personality, I give them the wisdom that I've learned throughout my years of researching and practicing and learning from other older people, and then I start realizing things. That's how wisdom grows. Wisdom grows by giving it to other people that actually want to hear it. But other people don't want to hear that. They're fucking stupid. If I say something that they get fucking mad, like say America's a good country, and they're like, "Oh, America's a bad country," and I stop it right there. I say, if you're gonna say America's a bad country, but you still want to live here, you still want to use our wealth, you still want to use our taxes for your stupid medications or whatever the fuck that it is, you hate our country now. That's why you have problems. You just want to hate. You don't want to appreciate because that's all you are is hatred. You rather hate everything because it doesn't go your way, because you think your will should be done. That's why people hate things. If you love things, you're thinking God's will be done because God is love. Without God, you can't have love. So if you don't believe in God, you don't believe in Jesus, you specifically state that he is divine in human form. Other religions think that he was just a human in that, and they all think that God can't become human. God's a creator, motherfuckers. Like, who the fuck are you to state what God can do? Every single religion wants to state how their God rule is, and like, yeah, specific things God specifically states that he is. But we always want to think that we can control what God actually implicates. People say they don't. Then why do you control certain things? Why do you say this and say this and say that? If you don't know, obviously, you want to learn. Yeah, there's a lot to learn. There's 5,000-6,000 years of history to learn about, how God is. But the New Testament sums it up very easily. It might take a little bit to read that and understand that. But if you start to understand, like Romans, Corinthians, Proverbs, those 3 books, explain in various details how God actually is. And of course, you got the 4 Gospels, Mark, Luke, Matthew, and John. They all explain how Jesus actually was in person. But there's still other things other than that. Like the learning didn't stop with these guys because the Holy Spirit kept on making them learn. But like when people start going through and seeing all these other religions, all other religions don't, they look at Jesus as being the Savior, they're at least on that right track. But when they start changing the words of the gospel and that, obviously you dictate it certain ways, but there's certain ways of dictating anything. Based upon knowledge that you eventually do grow as a human being, you start looking at things from a different perspective. Like I look at the word different. I look at, Proverbs a different perspective. And it talks about, whores. Talk about succubus whores. Smooth tongue. They said their tongues is smooth as honey. They talk very smoothly. They're very seductive. And you see that in the real world. Why was God telling us this? Because God was warning us of satanic women, demonic women, whore women. And that's what it is. All these women that sit there and they sexualize the shit out of themselves, they're all whore, demonic-based women. And people say, well, I don't think they're bad. It's not about being bad and good, because everybody's bad in some way or another. It's just how much sin do you put upon yourself before God intervenes? Before you go down and the devil's basically, banging you in your ass with a pitchfork. That's what all this comes down to. And the more and more people want to think about it, they try to be like, well, this and that. You think about it because you want to control the aspect of what God already created. Stop trying to control God's will, because you're not God. You're not smart enough to be God. You're an idiot, which most people are. Most people are fundamentally fucking stupid as fuck. And we're all bad. We all do dumb shit. We all have sinned many times in our lives. Of course, it all depends. And I have to agree with this too. It all depends on who you are and how you're raised. And that, yeah, but you can't blame it on that, because anyone can have a Bible. You can have a little miniature pocket Bible that you can get for like $3. And you can sit there and read it. And go through the certain chapters and that. Or just listen to it on YouTube for free. Well, it's just like the people in that. There's some people that I listen to, and they don't monetize their channel at all. They just preach the gospel, and they even talk about it. Like, I don't monetize my channel at all. I listen to him say that. It's like yeah, we don't monetize the channel and all that because we just want you guys to hear the gospel. And like, they have the whole entire Bible pre-read and audio for people to listen to. And so that's a good thing. I listen to stuff before I go to bed. I listen to Romans, and I tell you, I slept so good. I was hearing literally the word of our Savior speaking the truth about life. That's the thing. Speaking the truth about the world. Yes, demons exist, angels exist, the spirit world's real. We try to think that there's some people think that demons are taking over, like Devil May Cry, and they're all over the place killing people. And no, these demons only implicate because we let them implicate. We have full control over certain things that demons do. We can control our thoughts. Like, for instance, I put it like this. Like, if you stop masturbating, you'll get spiritual happiness. You'll be more functional. And people say, well, how's that? Because when you take control of your pleasures and you pray to God for the wisdom to understand how to do it, your life gets better. Like, I'm starting to practice it more. I'm starting to see a difference. I want to be more entertained. So I'm sitting there watching like Shield Hero, and I watched like the third season of it. I'm pretty much almost done with it. I watched the second season of it yesterday, and I watched the third season today, and I'm just watching like I used to when I was younger and that. And I'm sitting there playing like Borderlands 4 like I'm doing now. Obviously, I'm streaming and talking shit now. Oh, big farts. Ooh. But you start to understand, it's like, I was outside walking this morning. I was talking to God, and I'm just like wondering about my life, and I talk about certain things in my life. Like, relationships, a little bit of financial stuff, and that. And I came to the conclusion, it's like, I just want to be happy. I just want to enjoy my life like I used to. I don't want to be part of the world's politics and shit. I literally just want to take the politics and throw it out. Take the world shit and throw it out. I really don't care. Because it doesn't matter what happens in the world. They do whatever they want to do. All these governments all talk to each other. They all do negotiate what they want to do, and that, and they all do specific things. You know, they all want to be, you know, the hero or the villain, blah, blah, blah. But for me, I start caring about it. Like, I make fun of stupid people because they're dumb. They say stupid shit. And they deserve to get made fun of. You know, they get mad about it, get mad. Obviously, I do it in a sarcastic way. So it's just funny. Well, not like harmful funny, but even so. The world is a very up and down place. Some people care too much about the world. I always tell people, even for myself, basically tells myself, the world doesn't, most times the world only cares because it gets something out of it. To a certain extent. Of course, this is just like money. There's people that do care, like myself. I don't care about the money. I don't make any money. I live my life based upon what I live my life. I love my life. I love the way my life is. Well, people worry about getting fancy houses, fancy cars, and all that stuff and that. I don't care about that. Getting women and that, I don't care about that either. That's a good sandwich. One thing I like to tell people that when you worry about yourself, you grow. When you worry about everybody else, you stay stagnant. Because if everybody worries about everybody else, especially if they're worrying so heavily about what other people are doing, they sense to believe, not all the time, but they sense to believe that they're already done with their life, that they're already the best they can be. And these are people that are like, they're very, very, very judgmental. Like Jesus says, you know, when you judge someone, they judge you back. God judges you. When you act like an asshole towards someone, God acts like an asshole towards you. They said it's always what you reciprocally do to other people. God does the same thing to you. Because to understand how simple humans are, which we are very simple, I understand that we're all part of the same group of people. The only reason why we slightly make differences is because, say, the way our lifestyle is, basically how we were raised, who taught us specific things. But most times it's always the same thing. We all want to eat. We all want to eat good food that we like, and various of foods that we like, and that some people may not like foods compared to other people, but there's always variations of everything. We like to be entertained by variation of things. You know, we like to be, you know, we like the love, which is universally God. But we want love no matter what. Everyone wants to feel love. But there's a different foundation of love. There's fake love. There's people they constantly always tend to get, and that's where you get into the devil's ways. Fake love is drugs, alcohol, things that seduce your mind to thinking that you're happy. But then misery comes afterwards. Think about it. When people smoke weed, they're high. But when they're not high, they have huge amount of anxiety. Yeah, there's a backlash to it. And they think, well, I have to keep on smoking. And I was like, no, that's not the point. If you see a normal person like me, I have no anxiety. My anxiety doesn't really exist. Like, if I have anxiety with anything, I pray it away. I say, no, please, Lord Jesus, please help me. Please cleanse my mind from all these evil thoughts. Please get away the demons are close to me. I pray for healing. I pray for love. I pray for wisdom. I pray for the things that actually need to be prayed for myself. But that's just me, though. Obviously, I have my own personal things I go through, not, just like anybody else. But the biggest thing is, we rely on these medical terms, like mental illness, or ADHD, or ADD. We rely on human medical terms that are actually not human related, they're spiritual related. People said, well, I have ADHD. And I'm like, what the fuck is ADHD? It's like, well, it's hyper. I said, okay, well, I used to have it too, but I don't have it anymore. I got rid of it. I don't take medicine for it. Take nothing for it. I'm like, well, that was just And then you look back in the Bible and that when the Bible starts talking about anxiety, starts talking about something, it's like these are demons. Yeah, like you ever get negative thoughts in your head? It's like, well, yeah. Are they your own thoughts? And they know that they're not, because why would you think bad about yourself? That's fucking stupid. No. I said, well, maybe you start praying for forgiveness. Maybe there's sins, because demons attach to certain sins. When you sin, demons come in, they intervene. That's why sinning's so bad. It's not bad because you do one sin every now and again, and you're like, oh shit, I feel bad for that. Yeah, you ask for forgiveness. That's why you don't want to sin. But like God says God's enemies are God's enemies. All the pedos, all the satanic people in that, all these horrific, dangerous people in the world that are trying to fight against him, them are his enemies. He deals with them based upon certain things. And sometimes he changes them over. Because the biggest thing the devil doesn't like is when he sees one of his demonic, dickheads get faith and start going over to God's side. He doesn't like that. That's what it's in between all the faith and that. That's why certain people get attacked and they lose specific things, but they have faith and they get even double or triple as much back. It happens all the time in life. Like someone loses their business and that, and they're like, oh, struck down because these people are fucking assholes and that. And they pray, and then somewhere out of nowhere, you see a billionaire come in and then rebuild his business even better, and that gives him all this luxury and that. God uses people all the time for those specific reasons. It's just God's been using people all the time, using just stupid people, really, really dumb, ignorant people to become saints. They become saints. But they never talk about it that much. They never talk about the stuff that they go through in that. In detail. They talk about specific things, this and that. You should pray all the time and stuff like that. But these are the little things that, as humans, we kind of left behind because we don't see how it works. That's what it is. We don't know how it works. That's when you start seeing younger people that they're addicted to porn. First thing you see, masculinity goes down dramatically. People that are addicted to jacking off now, your femininity goes up, your masculinity goes down dramatically. You start losing testosterone, you start getting like fat in that, you start like losing muscle in that. Yeah. The jizz in your balls represents your masculinity. That's what most women normally do attract. And of course, they attract by the looks of you now, but when you hold your balls, you go through your first like weekly cycle, you sit there, you stop masturbating, guess what happens? After 2 or 3 days, it starts to go away. You start to want to do more things. Your energy levels go up, your balance, your brain fog goes away. You start to be more innovative. You start to get stronger in that. Your energy levels go up. And your muscles look more bigger in that because you have more fucking testosterone flow. You look skinnier in that. That's why I exercise all the time. I know how much I exercise. I know how hard I exercise. I can never lose that belly fat. I can stop eating that and fasting that. It can never go away. Well, I say it comes down to because my testosterone's probably low. It's because I probably jack off too much. And that's what normally comes down to. I have to say, it doesn't matter what anybody says about these things, that because like doctors can say this and say that and say, yeah, doctors are trying to figure out what God already knows. That's the things when God says something, it's more or less absolute. Like, yeah, this is the reason why you're having problems. Because if your mind's not focused on like task at hand or going through and enjoying your life and that, you know, you're sitting inside, you're on the computer all day, and you're fucking smacking off to a bunch of anime porn shit. Yeah. Who doesn't like seeing a big old pair of tits in their fucking face? The boobs are great. I understand that. It gets kind of like that weird sensation in your head that you want to look at a girl for like how perfectionate that she needs to be. But when you look at a guy, you see most guys, especially nowadays, they're not perfectionate. Most guys are uneven muscle tone. That like my right leg's bigger than my fucking left leg. My left arm's bigger than my right arm's bigger than my left arm. You're gonna see unproportionate people because it's just how life is. Yes, you can exercise and sit there and develop certain things better. You can. But it's just how it is in life. We can't stop the factors of how life actually is. People try to. Alright. When I go to the gym and I see these really hot girls that are like super nice butts and stuff and that, they look really good. They look very, bangable. But to me in that, just like anything else, once you get something, you do something, guess what happens? You already done it. If I banged all the hot chicks at my gym and that, guess what? I'm like, oh, okay. What's it gonna do? Pump fucking scoreboard? Like, alright, bang this hot chick. It doesn't matter. The sex with them never did matter, and it won't matter. It's the relationships with them. This is what the whole dominating factor of what we're having nowadays in society now. Most things in society want us to think that it's always competition with each other in that way. It's constantly fucking happening. You start seeing this driving force of this huge sexuality that there it is, it's ruining people's lives, especially young women's lives. Because they see it in that perspective that they need to have that ridiculous amount of bullshit in their life. And they believe in it. You can like ask these people that, like, why do you believe in stuff like that? Because I know I could be the baddest bitch of all bad bitches, and I say, it was like, why does it even matter? Because I want to be something in this world. I said, well, there's a lot of things you can do. Rather than being a fucking whore. And you know, you think like, once you become a mother, I think being a mother is probably a lot harder than being a fucking 2-bit slut on the fucking internet. Because those sluts on the internet are all comparing to each other and that, and most of them are just, they're terrible and stupid and ignorant. And there ain't a lot of money to make on OnlyFans anymore. Some people do. Because they set it up in social media like that. But if you're just like a woman that just joins it in that, you don't have like all the social media accounts, you're not on Instagram and all this crap, and you're not broadcasting to make that kind of like money and make that fan base go up super fast, you're gonna make much money. You ain't gonna make much money at all. Because you're dividing between like hundreds of thousands of girls. And that's not gonna work. That's why you see a lot of people have issues with relationships and that. Their relationships are always going downhill now. Because they got all these fucking weird things in their head saying they have to be like this, have to be like that. That men have to make all this money. And I said, no. Money never matters if the relationship is actually connected. Yes, men have to be masculine. Of course. But a woman has to be understanding of the man's masculinity. I do see guys like me that are like, you know, that's why I don't drive a car. I don't see the point. I walk everywhere because I don't see the point in having a car. I don't need it. The main reason why men do all these things is that because they want to get a woman. I said, well, okay, yeah. There's a lot of hot girls that live next to me now. I get a woman right next door to me. I walk over to the house and that, give her $30 in gas money. We'll go out and go to the park or something. Enjoy the weather and that. Run around and play on the swings and shit and just be fucking stupid kids. They go out to eat. Go back to her place. Let her take a fucking shower. She invites me into the shower with her. This is how it always goes down. And then we end up fucking, you know, giving each other love. Not sexual, but just love. Because I wouldn't go sexual with her. Despite the fact that, you know, a lot of these women probably want to do that because, you know, I know how they are. Most likely nowadays. And then, you know, we lay down, talk about our lives and that, and we organize what we want to do. First thing I always say is I said financial things are the only thing to worry about, you know. And there's certain things we don't need to do that we don't need to do, but we always got to have things that we want to do. Like, I like energy drinks, I like pre-workouts, I like, supplement stuff. Always been that way, always will be that way. That's how it would be, But that's just simple things. It's not the woman demanding all these things. Oh, you need to get a better job. You need to do this, do that. No. It's not about what I need to get better at. It's about what individually we need to get better at. It's about what we need to get better at together. People don't worry about that. Talk about with Max a lot and that. Talk about financial stuff and that, what we need to do to make life better for us and that. Certain things you buy, like you're buying stuff that's making your life worse, like weed and vapes and that. It doesn't do anything. Like, you need to train and discipline your fucking mind, because your mind's very weak, and that's why you do the things that you do, because your mind's very weak. Your spiritual is very weak, but you're so fixated on the way you look, thinking that's going to overcompensate your personality. And I always gotta say this. Sorry, honey. That's not how life works. You can't, you compensate one for another when you can use them all and get better at all of them. That's why I always have to talk about this stuff. There's so many people that have these issues. So, it's not finding out what women want. It's letting your heart guide you to the women that you actually need to be with. Like, there's specific women in my life, or even friends in my life, that I should have stayed connected to. I lost connection to them. They could have been really good for me. We had the same personalities, we had the same ways of talking about stuff, and that. We interacted very well together. But I lost all my friends. I mean, I do have friends. Yeah, I do have people I talk to now. That are similar to me. But they're not like my same age group. Because out of high school, and I had certain friends and that. I don't talk to any of them anymore. Most of them are, well married, or they're completely out of the state. They live somewhere else in the middle of fucking nowhere. One of my good friends that used to live down the street from me, we hung out together and we sat there. We had good times just hanging out. We listened to music together. I remember on the PC and that we used to listen to, a lot of Nickelback and that. Me and we were playing Guitar Hero together with one of his other friends and that. We went down that line. We lived peaceful in that. But they, went down the route of getting in relationships and that. They both got married and shit. One of them's doing really good at the other one not doing that good. He's kind of a hippie and that, he lives off of the whole, like, the woke tard shit. He's very conspiracy and theory and that thing about him. Like, none of that shit matters, bro. Just get a job and live happy. When you dive into the rabbit hole, what God actually is taking control over, and that's what it is. You want to know what God knows? Why? You think that you're gonna control and do better in some sense than God? I said, please, guys, please stop thinking that shit. It's good to know the wisdom. Yeah. The thing is, when you have too much wisdom, and you add in pride to it, which is control, because you think you know best, the stuff that you know is the only reason why you know it is because God lets you know it. Like, I prayed for wisdom multiple times in my life and honestly, I wish I didn't know it. I'm like, God, take it back. I don't want to know that shit. I don't want to know the world. I don't care about the world and what it does and that, there's certain things that, I care about my life now. The only wisdom I want to know is about myself and my little community and that and stuff around there. I used to learn about myself and learn about psychology and that. And that's what I tend to focus on. Because there comes a time, as of today, that we have so much psychological issues, that we got so many mixed mixed type of things that we got a lot of men or women that they're not being traditional anymore. They're being, whores. And they escalate that stuff because of the 50s and 60s that we got away from our traditional ways of living because of the foundation of parenting dropped off. Now it's rising back up because people are seeing how fucked up it is. They always say nothing ever stays the same. It always changes. You can't keep things the same because people fight against everything. If it's really bad, people fight against the badness. If it's really good, people fight against the goodness. I talk to people out that have kids out of wedlock and they still want to fuck other people. I said, why do you do that? Well, it's just the thing is, this is 2027. I'm like, dude, this shit's been happening for thousands of years, bro. Don't ever think that is not gonna happen. And I tell men this, and I said, bro, the only reason why you have this sort of lifestyle is because you don't respect. First off, you don't respect men because you don't respect your father. Jesus tells us to honor thy father, thy mother. He says to honor them, not to like them. You don't need to like them. There's a difference between honoring someone. You honor that they had you. You honor them. You don't need to like everybody. You don't need to like everything about everybody. That's not the whole point. It's the respect. Because if you don't respect the father figure that you have, respect the fact that, he could be a piece of shit person. But respect kind of just goes, various ways. Like I respect my father now, but I don't agree with everything that he says. Of course I don't. I don't agree with everything that everybody says. There's certain things I don't agree with. But the thing of it is, I still respect that he had me. That's it. Knowing that you're alive is all you need. You can take your own road, but you still have to respect people. Like, I respect people more and more. I stop judging people as much. I look at things from different perspectives on why people do these things. And, like, certain things I might say be like, funny. Like, being a little bit of, of an asshole that. But I tend to look at from both perspectives. I talk about the crazy sisters at work. And I called them out, like, you guys are like the crazy sisters. I say it in a nice way now, because they're not bad people. They're very, they have a little bit of attitude issue now. And sometimes they're really funny when they're being very argumentative. Sometimes it just gets kind of annoying because they speak the same shit over and over again. But anyway, so, like, I'll sit there, and we'll have conversations and that. And when me and the boys were talking that, God brought up all the stuff in that. Sundays are a guy night, we have a guy manager, a whole bunch of guys there. And so we talk about this and that. We do our guy thing. A lot of it's just silly, just kid shit, obviously, But it gets to the point that we're trying to figure out, how to make work a better place. And I always got to be the forefront because I'm emotionally stable. I don't get mad over shit that much. I don't freak out about stuff that much because I don't care. I tell people that it's like I go to work to do my job. I try to get better at my job by learning new things. I want to be accomplished at my job by doing these things. But I see people work there longer than me, and their mindsets are still the same. They do get better at their job, but the mindsets don't get better. Unless you guys always get very frustrated. I said, where's your mind at? Well, my mind's not really at work and that I'm, thinking about it. That's the problem. Is you're worried about other things that you're not dealing with. I finished the rest of my sandwich. Ooh, I'm gonna hit the hay here in a little bit. But anyway, So we start looking through like the little things that we were talking about in that. And I always bring up, it's like number one thing is I want us to be the best. This is just work related. I want us to be the best at our job, and I want us to be on top of things a little bit more and more. Slowly learn it, because sometimes, learning stuff too fast, obviously, it gets you in a panic and that you freak out that. We slowly learn things together. That's what it is. The teamwork has to be higher. We always got this individual stuff going on there. So, like, with one of the guys I work with and that, he's a younger man, a little bit younger than me, but his mindset is very logical. He thinks logically about stuff. So he plans stuff out to where he knows how to react to it. It's like, for instance, I'll have our service person do our service thing. I'll be the starter, okay? So I start the food and that. And what happens is, since I'm the starter in that, if we have to drop something, we don't, like, the other manager does it completely different. She doesn't drop stuff. She'll sit there and yell at or talk to. I can say that she yells because she's giving out commands, so she has to get a higher voice level. Well, she'll tell the service person that's in the middle of like taking orders and that to drop something, and then tell him like, oh, you need to take the stuff out and that. I said, the other guy completely different. If he's dropping stuff off, like if our service guy goes over and drops like fries or fried foods, the expediter guy will go over because he's managing that. He'll give out the food and drink and that to the customer, and then goes back to making the next order. Because by the time he drops the stuff and that, the food's already out, and the next guy comes in, and then it just like we just kind of bounce back and forth. Well, that's what he does, because he's actually, I say he's rather intelligent, because it actually makes sense. We do a bounce effect. If I'm going in, I bounce off, and I drop stuff off, he'll go in, take my position until I get back, and then we kind of just go through together. The same thing with him. If he goes bounce off and drops something, I'll finish the order up that's already getting pretty much done, and then we hand out, and then he bounces back. The other manager I work with, the lady manager, she kind of does it, but then she kind of doesn't do it. So she's very she wants to be very loud in that. And so me and our service person, we talk about these things now. We always got to talk about how things are happening. He's like, it was so much different the other day. I said, yeah, because you weren't getting yelled at all the damn time, bro. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm tired of her fucking yelling at me. Like, she just doesn't understand because she's a fucking idiot. I'm like, well, I mean, she does say things, doesn't make any sense. So until you drop something, then she'll yell and scream and say, oh, hurry up, take out the order now. I said, it's because she's panicking. She doesn't understand the organization of what's going on, even though she's been here for 5 fucking years. She doesn't understand, evidently. She panics. And then she starts to get anxiety, and she starts to yell and scream and freak out and that. And the dude was getting mad. He was getting furious. He's like, dude, I'm about to slap the shit out of her. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, she's being very aggressive. Like, bro, then go tell the man, or go tell the higher ups and that about it. And we start talking about that. And he's like, well, I'm not trying to yell at you. I'm like, Sarah. I'm like, listen here. Call out her name. It doesn't matter. Matter of fact, it is. I call her Sarah. It's not Sarah. You really have to stop. Like, from the perspectives, you're not a bad person, but you don't have the organization to be sitting there and organize how people work. I don't give a shit if you say that you are a manager, but you don't have the manager mentality. I'll specifically state exactly how a group works, because, well, I'm a strategist, because I've been doing that my whole entire life, since I was younger than that, And I'm a psychological, researcher, so I'm a psychiatrist, basically, in some way or other. And now I'm a biblical understander of the spirit world and that. So I understand the basics of a lot of different things that I'm not proficient in these, things in the maximum level that you could be. No, but I still understand enough to where I can look at from certain perspectives. Because if you know, I read people's vibes. I know when they get angry and that. I know specific words I can say to them to calm them down. You know, but they're too upset and that they freak out and that. It's just like, well, why don't you just go take a break? Why don't you go take a breather? And I always tell people that's like the reason why I'm so good at my job because I'm not emotionally impaired. I don't get fucking massively upset and panic because we deal with this shit every day. I told a group that we deal with the same shit every single fucking damn day, but you want to panic over the same shit. I said, this is where your discipline has to kick in. You have to understand that you have to fight against your panicking. Because inside their minds, this lady wants to get stuff done because of speed. Most people don't care about that. I try to explain that. I try to explain, like, yeah, we used to have, because it's the very end of the day. So once it hits like 12 to 1 o'clock and that, we're almost done with our job. So all the speed is it's a percentage of the whole entire day. So if the last like 50 cars are fucking kind of shitty speeds, we have 400 cars, it's not going to really fuck up our speed that much because it's the average. Well, this lady's constantly worried about it. It's like, oh, I'm going to change to make it better than that. Well, like, first off, if you see how much money that we're making, we can't get that shit done that fast because we have too many cars coming at her. You're thinking that panicking and moving really quick is going to get it down. Just moving a couple seconds faster is a couple seconds faster. It's not going to change the ratios. Because if I move super fast, if I go in turbo mode, you're going to be left behind on 2 or 3 fucking orders ahead. And you're going to sit there and be panicking even more because you can't get it done. I said, that's why. One of the guys I work with, he likes to keep doing orders. He likes to think that his job is done. And I try to explain, like, dude, you have to help me out with this stuff and that. It's not done until we get it out the window. If you just keep on doing orders and that, first off, the food gets cold and then we get complaints about it. Like, bro, you have to stay consistent working with each other now. Okay, they say that's my job, that's this job. Then I try to explain, like, when we have small orders and that, we can get shit done. But once you get over like 3 or 4 items, or once you get over 5 items, the orders get a little big. And all of a sudden you get like items that are like 15 or even 20. And most times they're just like, you know, like sauces and cheeses and stuff like that. But it still wastes time for their order. What I was saying is, like, to be able to get this stuff done like we need to, we have to work as a team to collaborate our work together to be able to get stuff done. We can't just sit there and think it's a single effort thing. And like when this guy gets done with his orders, I've seen him do it multiple times. He is getting a little bit better at that, but it seems like he doesn't care about his job because he's, you know, emotionally distressed and he's an alcoholic or whatever the fuck that's going on in his life. And I don't care. He's being a pussy. Yeah, he's being a coward when it comes down to that stuff. And we could say that I'm judging him, and that's like, yeah, I am judging him for how he acts, because it doesn't retain to being, you know, a good teammate, you know, and calling it out makes him do better. You know, whatever. The whole point of my job, other than being a normal worker in that, is I dictate my wisdom towards everybody else to make the job easier, to make it better for everybody else, to make it more balanced. A lot of managers don't like that shit. See, you don't need to like my advice because you're fucking stupid, first of all. You don't want advice because you think having a title means you know everything. Having a title in that, especially nowadays, your title doesn't mean shit because you know what happens is you're not learning. You're just producing money. That's all you care about, is that you're making more money than you used to. You still act the same way as a crewmate. You want to waste as much time as you can off the fucking line, and it gets boring and dull when people are sitting there. And I said, I'm on the line more than anybody else in this fucking damn place. Anybody else? I'm on the line all day long. I barely ever get off the line unless I'm doing truck, and there you go. I do the heaviest work in this fucking place. I do both trucks. We come Thursday and Monday. I do the heaviest lifting in this place. And I stay on the fucking line after I'm done to push the time. So when I want to, like, say I got an ego and say, you know, You're bragging about it. Yeah, because it's what I do. You do what I do, you couldn't do it. And that's the factor of it. You can try. Okay, you can try. You probably could get it done somewhere or another. But you're not going to be as efficient as me. Because guess what? I'm not panicking, and I'm not, the mentality of me ain't shit. I'm disciplined to a certain degree to be able to get stuff done. So how I think of it is, if I'm more proficient at my job, maybe you should listen to why I'm like this. Maybe you should listen to how I became like this and understand what it takes to go through these cycles. Number one, you gotta get off the fucking damn drugs. You can't be on drugs. Drugs make you panic. Because you can't focus when you're panicking. Because if things don't go your way, you start to get up mass anxiety now. I say, yeah, it's because you live in a world that's fake. You live in a fake-ass world, and that's the reason why you panic. Because things in your mind, your will, you want your will to be done. Your will is stupid dog shit will. You don't know nothing. God's will makes more sense because he knows everything, and you know absolutely nothing. You know the bare minimum of the world. If you knew what God gave you as wisdom, because you actually read the book, you understand his wisdom, then you wouldn't be a dumb fuck. You would actually understand that the stuff that you're smoking is bad for you. But they say, oh no, it's not, because doctors say this. Doctors say what the fuck they want to say to make money off your stupid fucking asses. Doctors say take prescriptions and to get rid of eczema. And guess what? I'm taking fucking peptides to get rid of eczema. Doctor tells me you take like vitamin D and that to get rid of my eczema. But then I find out it's gut health issues. And so I'm taking red dye 40 and that. They never talk about it. All that red dye 40 that fucks with your digestive tract. It actually gives you leaky gut. It fucking basically kills you slowly. Oh, they don't talk about that. Why people have heavy shits and that they can't crap right, that they're building up with all that shit in their stomach. I wonder why. Because they're telling you bullshit, guys. They're giving you bullshit excuses. I listened to Dr. Mike Israel, the Jewish bodybuilder. This guy has a lot of pride, and he's fucking stupid because he's going to end up fucking giving himself to burn in hell for this stupid shit. But he was saying all these dyes. Oh, there's nothing wrong with these dyes. And these dyes are, and then studies come out and say how bad these dyes are. I say, you know what? I like how you propagandize these dyes. I doubt if you ever drink any of that shit because you go all powder that doesn't have any of these dyes in them. Because most people can get electrolyte powders and that have no dyes in them. They just have artificial like flavors, which you know happens. Artificial flavors are not as bad. And they're like, it's like, yeah, you guys are just spilling out a bunch of bullshit. And that's what it is. Yeah, this one has beetroot powder for coloring, for the red coloring. All these supplement places do not use it. That's my amino acid stuff. It looks like it has beet powder in it. Woo! Oh. I'm way too energetic. Let's see if I can fall asleep. Should be able to. Woo! But yeah, a lot of stupid shit out there. I still believe in this. People say, "Oh, drugs are fucking good." And that, prescription. They believe in prescription stuff and that too. Like, dude, all these guys are legal drug dealers.
Accusations towards the other side saying MAGA dorks, rhinos. I have been pretty clear that if you can't make sense of the left, if you can't make sense of their reasoning, for example, gays for Palestine, it's because their loyalty is to Marxism. And what I mean by that, well, it's very clear. I'm not going to get into I'm not going to read the whole Communist Manifesto, any of that. It's viewing the world through the lens of oppressor and oppressed, and that can be somehow controlled through a centralized force. So that changes, right? It could be straight and gays, and then it could be gays and trans, it could be white and black, and then it could be black and Asian, and vice versa. It's about seeing the world through that lens, and that it is a centralized duty to correct it. It's seeing people, or identifying them as based on their immutable characteristics, to use the term of the left. All right. Identity politics, to use another term. So I will just refer to this group as the Marxist right. Meaning those on the right saying we need to remove Donald Trump, saying we need to invoke the 25th, saying that everyone is the same. We're no better off under President Trump than under Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. Here's what you guys need to know. I spend more time in leftist spheres where I get my news. That's why we provide the references every day. 11 a.m. Eastern while we stream bibliography every day. Most of them lean left. Democrats are actually thrilled about this. You need to understand that. Objectively, those on the left see what is happening on the right, and they go, ooh, let them do it. And I'll tell you why, because they know how intensely unpopular they are. So, click left thrill montage.
You can see it all over, right? Got Megyn Kelly and Tucker fighting with Mark Levin. I can't even keep track. So, all of them, they hate each other more than they hate us. That's just what happens when parties go down. I mean, it kind of ends the Republican Party as we knew it. And
remember that.
Fighting with each other, and that's fine with me. I'm happy to watch. It's good spectator sport.
Our MAGA cannibalism is completely underway, and it is so delicious. This, I think, war representing it ties into the Epstein betrayal. It's its own sort of betrayal, and that's what's riled MAGA's hackles so much, or at least some MAGA folks. It's an emotional sense that, Daddy said something to us, and then he lied to us, and then he lied again to us.
What I'm hearing from everyone is I'm a 3-time Trump voter, and I'm not MAGA anymore. I'm now non-MAGA. MAGA, the base is leaving because they don't agree with this conflict, and they don't believe that this is what they voted for.
And I will say, the voices that you hear online, the amplified voices, which with a very unified message, by the way, with very unified timing, and I don't say that to imply anything, it is a fact. When you see people coming out all within 24 hours of each other saying, 25th, Donald Trump's betrayed, you go, okay, well, where's this coming from? Because that's not what you're hearing from voters and people on the ground. Certainly not to an overwhelming degree. You have plenty of people who are against the Borderlands. You have plenty of people who say, you know what, I think it makes sense. And someone like me said, give it 3 months. And I think we need to reassess it. The issue is you have those on the right saying that people saying, give it 3 months, they're actually a greater danger to the country than the people you just watched who want this country to descend into socialism. How do I know? Because they've said it. How do I know that the people would rather align themselves, those on the Marxist right, with those folks? Because they have said it, and because they share the same views for America. If you were to write on paper, more universal daycare, more money into Medicare, more money into social programs, so long as there's no war, you go, let's code pink. Oh, it's the true MAGA people. Now, James Carville just said, this will happen when a boy goes down. Like I go down to the bayou getting a crawfish. But the Republican Party isn't down because it doesn't exist in a vacuum. The conservative movement, the MAGA coalition, is not down. You know what is down? And that's the reason for people rebranding, looking for a new niche. It's the Democrat Party.
Just take a look at this. Net favorability. Party ahead at this point. Midterm years with the GOP president. In 2018, Dems were up by 12. In 2006, on net favorability, which party like more? Dems are ahead by 18. Republicans are actually ahead on net favorability at this point by 5 points. So Democrats are just simply running behind their previous benchmark, and they need to be running well ahead of them if they want to take back the United States Senate, given that math. To be clear, both parties are wildly unfavorable right now. However, Democrats are even more unpopular than Republicans.
Democrats are more unpopular.